Our RV has multiple slides, but this slide here has definitely caused us some problems. And I don't like things that don't work. You might be asking, why did you buy an RV? Because I also like fixing things and making them work better. So that's what I'm gonna be doing on this today. I have a couple of options because I need to fix this in a permanent way. I have one that's gonna be a DIY solution and one that's more expensive that I know is going to work. So today it's getting solved. You might remember the temporary fix we did, and it worked well as a temporary fix, but we need to do something permanent. But that's not what made the slide more reliable for us and fixed it in the overarching. Let me catch you up on what we've done there so far. This here is our main slide in the RV. It has the couch and it has the fridge, and so the weights are a little bit off balance, and we have the Vroom slide system on here. You can tell because they got their name right in here. They're proud of their slide system because this slide system actually works. What we had on here before was the Schwintek system on this large slide. This is what it looked like before. This is the Schwintek system. And this is a very small slide inside of our bedroom that just has a dresser for storage for clothes. So this is a good case use for the Schwintek system. But when you put it on larger slides, it just doesn't really hold up that well. At least it didn't for us and for a lot of other RVers out there. There's just a lot of problems that go along with it for that extra weight that it needs to move. Number one, it doesn't have good gear mesh. A lot of problems that the Vroom system fixes. A lot of the parts in there will flex and causing it to kind of skip gears, miss gears, bind up. All those things that I don't want them to do when we're out RVing. So we switched over to the Vroom system, and it fixed almost everything except for the underside of the slide. And it would have been the same way with the Schwintek system, but this is just the last element that we need to fix on that slide the way that it came from factory. What I need to fix on our slide is this portion. Everywhere that a roller is underneath the slide, supporting it, I need to protect it because this is just plywood OSB with a coating on it for the flooring. And it is chipping up over time with us being full-time in the RV. So we have two options to be able to protect these areas. So one's more expensive than the other, but we're gonna get to the bottom of which one is better. Now the first option here is a stainless steel plate. So this one is made by Vroom. So this is more of the commercial product. The other one's gonna be more of a DIY. But this one wasn't an option when we paid for our slide. We went and had ours swapped out. They have developed this since then as an option to be able to add with it for the problem that we're addressing today. So this has a lip on the end, which obviously is gonna give it a tremendous amount of strength. It's a pretty thick material. It's close to 1/8 of an inch. Then it also has a bend on this side that's going to give some support to the slide all the way underneath there. So really interesting. I'm curious to see how this is going to clear the floor on the inside of the RV. So we're going to test that out. If we mess up the floor, we're going to find out today how this performs. I think it's going to do good because everything else they've done in their engineering has worked great. So this is option number one. Option number two is HDPE. And so this came highly recommended in the last video that we did where all we could get was a very thin piece of metal and it was just too thin for the weight of the slide. But a lot of people had said that they had used this on the bottom of their slide and it was working good. So I wanted to give this a try because this is significantly cheaper than the Vroom stainless steel plate. And I want to use this on the inner rollers of the slide. And it's really easy to work with. They say you can use woodworking tools. I found using a grinder to make the cut was really simple, and I drilled out the holes using the Vroom plate as a template so that I can attach it to the bottom of the slide. But in the description of the HDPE, it says that it's strong and light. But that sounds exactly what we want, lightweight and strong. Lightweight's always good for RVing and strong for what we need it for underneath the RV. So let's get to jacking up the slide so we can get those plates in before it starts raining again or gets too sunny and hot to work outside. So my first hurdle here, as I'm jacking it, it's actually not lifting this corner here. I need both sides to be able to lift. When I hit the center, I think that's not going to be a problem, but I need to jack here, but that's exactly where the plate needs to sit at the same time. So that's not going to work. I don't have a full shop where I can pull the whole slide out and do this. So I'm not going to let that hold me back. I think I have a plan. So I'm gonna do a second jack over here. I remember when we were there, they talked about the insane amount that each one of these rivets can actually hold up for weight. So putting this kind of in that slots and spreading out the weight, I think is gonna help us out to be able to get that first panel in here. And I think we got it jacked up high enough to where we can get that plate in. I'm gonna do it from the inside, because those plates, they just don't bend, the ones from Vroom. So we're gonna try and go from the inside out because they won't have to bend at all or trying to get it in there. It looks perfect, but I'm still concerned that that bend on the other side of this plate is gonna scratch the floor as it goes in. Time will tell. Let's do the next one. Now, the point that I've been waiting for, I want to see if this bent edge is going to damage the floor or not. Let's give it a try. Okay, here we go. Well, there looks like there was enough clearance. We'll let the slide out, make sure there's no marks or damage on the floor, and we'll see how the HDPE ones did on the outside, how they handled the weight of the slide. So at first look, it appears like they're going to do really well. Obviously, I'm going to have the slide coming in and out hundreds of times as we continue to use the RV, and the stainless steel is going to be the far superior product, but I wanted to give it a comparison of something really inexpensive and DIY friendly to something like the stainless steel. Aluminum would be another great option. I would go with the same thickness that we did on the stainless steel, that 10 gauge, kind of that 1/8 inch thick sheet material. I think is going to work really well down here. With the bends on this stainless steel one, we did have a little bit of an opening on that weather stripping down there because it couldn't really lay well over that. So I did cut that with the razor blade. I wanted to see how it would lay after I cut it. If I needed to replace it, so be it. But looks like it's going to lay in there and seal up much better. And on these Vroom ones on the end, because they have this bend that comes up, which is great, I like having that, I'm going to put a bead of caulk here. I started on this one, so that way no water is going to get trapped in and underneath this plate. That would be a horrible disaster. But I'm going to call this one a win for fixing the slide, and I think it's going to wear much better and last a lot longer for us. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for today. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos about RVing and things that we do to the RV, hit that subscribe button. And if we don't see you on the road, hopefully we will see you next video.